So I've been thinking about why I'm so bothered by the constant messaging to hold the hand of people who put us in this situation. Now, I am not someone who is like gung-ho about holding people to mistakes as if they cannot grow. I think you do have to pay for the energy you put out. And I'm just not that person. But I will say that what's bothering me about this is, one, the repeated nature in which we keep ending up in situations like this in just this country alone. So if people are not helped to see the full extent of their, I won't even say poor decision making, but willful decision making towards harming others, thinking that energy would not boomerang back to them. If we do not help people really feel the weight and the gravity of it, not just in one little portion of their life, because the rest of us are not feeling it in just one little portion of our life. Oh, my stocks went down. Oh, I don't have any more workers. That's just one little portion of your life, right? But the rest of us are like, I want to have a child, but I'm afraid to, because what happens if something happens, right? Not me, I'm 46. We done. Okay. Because see, we keep looking at the 1930s as our example because of the atrocities that happened. But we rarely ever pay attention to the fact that retribution was demanded and it followed them for decades. You were not going to get away if we knew where you were, right? But not so in America. Like, people really complained that folks were flying a Puerto Rican flag, a Cuban flag, a Honduran flag, a Nicaraguan flag, a Haitian flag. People got upset that immigrants were flying flags of other countries, but nobody gives a shit about the fact that people are still flying the freaking Confederacy flag. Like, we won't even call the Confederacy what it was. Straight up treason. Real life traitors. And we glorified them by allowing their names to be on buildings and erecting statues and naming streets after them, and military bases are named after these Confederate traitors to the Union. And then, instead of calling it treason, we call it heritage. And people are like, oh, it's my heritage. Your heritage of treason. Like, the more I learn about the effed up history of this country, right? So even after, let's go after, during the Reformation, where people were given land to work and live, what ended up happening is, and I don't know about y'all South America, but y'all really need to stop housing these racist, misogynistic, European descent people and allowing them to be in your country, namely Brazil, right? But anyway, so what happened is that people ran from the US, went to South America, chilled out until a law was made that said, hey, come back over here, we'll give you some land, we'll pay you for getting rid of your enslaved people so that you don't feel the brunt of the financial shock of having to give up trafficking humans, which, by the way, did not end until the 1970s. And that's just on record, right? So then these people come back to the US with the stuff that they claim immigrants don't deserve. Land, opportunities, money. And they just got to re-assimilate into our culture and get branded this really cute name of the South or the antebellum South. And then the first movies that get created are propaganda pieces. Oh my God. And one of the biggest touted movie is what is it? Gone with the Wind, which glorified this time again of trafficking and owning whole groups of people. I'm not even going to get into the Epstein levels of perverseness that happened on these plantations to young boys as well as young girls and women. I mean, I am 20% European for a reason, and I know my grandparents and my great-grandparents. Okay. I mean, y'all, it was so bad. The traitor was so bad that they didn't just go after Abe Lincoln. They went after him, the VP, and the speaker. They went after the top 3 people so that they could get their Confederacy to rise again. It's just those other 2 fumbled, foiled, or something else happened. This is the history they do not teach us. So my worry here is that after all this shit is said and done, after we manage to rehabilitate this country in some kind of way, restructure, rebuild, renovate, whatever the word is that is going to be required, because the roaches are all the way through the foundation of the house. So I don't even know if fumigation is going to be enough, right? We're going to have to do what it is that they were aiming to do in the first place. They want to rewrite and create a whole new constitution. And we're kind of going to have to do that in the first place, but not towards their end, hopefully. But after you fumigate or burn it all down, are you going to let the roaches back in your house? No. No. So unlike all the other times that we have done this, been there, we're going to have to actually have an ending to the story. And the ending can't be ours. It has to be this group that keeps sprouting up every other generation. And we can't allow religion to be their shield. I mean, the KKK burned crosses and went to church on Sundays. The dude who just took the life of a representative in one of those northern states, I keep forgetting which one, Wisconsin something, he was embedded in a white supremacy church. This is the way that our people, I'm going to say our, but this is the way that white American males especially are being indoctrinated from the young to the older. This is why y'all keep losing these kids in their teenage years to hate groups. Because it is embedded within your church. For some reason, some of y'all still teaching that black people were the children of Cain. But newsflash, who the F are the destroyers of this world? Who has gone into every brown and black community and pillaged their land and took their people and indoctrinated them so that they started to hate their own skin, their own hair, their own way of living? Abel was peaceful. Abel knew how to work with the land and please God. Cain lived with his jealousy, and that's all racism is. Jealousy. I'm not saying y'all the children of Cain. I'm not leading that math there. I'm not. What I am saying is, it's supposed to be a separation of church and state, but y'all have these things so woven. Like literally, your forefathers ran away from a whole freaking country because of religious persecution, and you're sitting here now trying to weave it into a fabric when you don't even believe in the religion. You don't, because there's no way you believe in Christ. There's just no way. There's literally no way. All I gotta say is, we can't be slapping the hands when this is done. We can't invite the roaches back into the foundation. of this country again. We have to outlaw and ban their flags and their ideology. We got to do something different than we did last time.